Good day. God bless you. Welcome back, guys. My name is Zach, and this is episode 47 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. So, I worked my fifth day in a row, my fifth 12-hour shift. So, like I said yesterday, it was easy to go all day at work today with eating, although I did snipe a couple pieces of candy out of the drawer at work that some guy stocked up. So, felt a little sweet tooth there, but didn't go too nuts since it was the only thing I ate all day. And then got home, good mood. I'm still a little congested, but I'll go live every day, and this is pretty much as sick as I've been in a 3 or 4 years. So we'll see. Like I said, with the fasting and the cold showers, it really boosts your immune system, and staying hydrated is very important. And I think that's why I have come down with a small infection my body's gonna kill it within probably 48 hours. But the reason I got it, I think, is because I allowed myself to get a little dehydrated. And we'll talk more about how your cells, if they're hydrated and full of water, that space that they're filling in each cell is where bacteria and viruses get in. So if they're full of water, they cannot be infested with a virus. So I'm looking forward to, so I worked 5 days, so now I only have 3 days off. So it make it a little easier too. So, I pretty much got a whole extra day of, 16, probably call it more like a 20-hour fast, like a 24 intermittent fasting, 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. Because even if I just had a pretty large meal. I finished off the adobo that my friend's wife made and had some pasta, the rest of that pasta that I had made last night. So even if I eat a little bit more, like I said, thankfully I don't have any snacks. I don't know what I would eat. I guess I have some protein cereal that I could munch on if I get a little snacky. But even if I do, so it was a long enough fast. So now I just have the 3 days of easy eating. I'm really looking forward to posting tomorrow, posting the next day about just not so much what I weigh. I am drifting off of that a little bit because I know I'm right around the 250 like I weighed yesterday. So no big deal. We're gonna just try to maintain that, and then go right back on the 96-hour fast. We'll be starting Saturday this time. So let's go to the book of the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. And it reads, and by the way, charity, as translated in the King James Version of the Bible, is love. And it's very interesting that they translated the word love to charity, because what is charity? It's giving. And that's what love is. People have asked me, and I've asked myself, why do I fall so in love? Why, when people have said, what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? That's not what love is. Love is not what are you getting out of it. Love is charity. Love is giving. You give somebody your love. You don't like take love. Love is only given. And when both people are giving love, then you are in love. If it's only you giving love and you're not receiving any back, then that's not real love. So for me, it's like, if they're worthy of my love, if I believe they are, I give it to them, and I give it all to them. And if they don't reciprocate that, then I turn around. I don't be an asshole. I walk away, and I don't look back. And that's the strategy from here on out. So let's pick it up. Chapter 13, First Book of Corinthians, chapter 4. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoicing not in iniquity, but rejoicing in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall fail. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. And what it's talking about there is that love is greater than all those things. None of those things will be. It's saying charity never faileth at the beginning of verse 8. And so it sounds a little confusing there until you realize it's talking about all of those things will fail in comparison to love. And with that, I will tell you, it doesn't matter who you are. I know you were created by God. Good, bad, ugly, good or evil, winning or not so much winning, trying, not trying. I love you. Jesus loves you. If we can just get you to love you, And we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to the 3 easy days of eating. I'm saying it right now. I'm envisioning myself eating small, healthy meals. I only really have meat right now. I have some steaks. I have like 4 New York strip steaks thawing, not thawing. I don't think that's a word. Thawing in the fridge, and they're about thawed, so they'll be ready for tomorrow for lunch. And a turkey tenderloin, so way more than enough meat for the 4 days. And so I just need to go I'm going to pick up some melons and berries. I ate a lot of salads. I'm kind of burnt out on salads, so I'm going to try to just maybe eat like meat and like maybe even it sounds weird, but I want to eat what I like so that I don't have to fill up with things that I don't like as much. But I'm thinking about eating something like a New York strip steak, and they look to be about 10-ounce ones, maybe 8. I'll weigh them, and then like a cantaloupe. Those are 2 of my favorite foods in the world. Like even if I throw some pink Himalayan sea salt on the steak and maybe even dip it with some hot ass horseradish, and then chase that down with a cantaloupe, and I'd be in hog heaven. So I have gym planned out for Wednesday and Friday, although I did kind of screw it up because I'm the only one with the membership and I can only bring one person. And at first I had planned on going with my cousin, but then my young son texted me to go to the gym. And of course, I have to place my son above anybody else. But there'll be plenty of more times to work out with my cousin. So so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll be eating light, and then I'm right back to the 96-hour fast. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll weigh in Tuesday, and I'm already getting excited. Like I'm 7 days away from that, and I'm already getting excited. Like, Zach, do good. You're gonna do good. You're gonna drop, you're gonna drop a few pounds again. So, and that brings me into what I want to talk a little more about. I had mentioned like our decisions we make, primitively speaking, and it's just reality, is to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And finishing off the book, what the book I recommended yesterday called? Anthony Robbins, Giant Within, Awaken the Giant Within. I had listened to about a half hour of it last night before I went to bed, and then it's only like a 90-minute, maybe 100-minute little Audible book. And then I think I finished most of it today at work. I cut it out right at the end, but I was pretty close to finishing up. I'll probably finish it up after the stream here, just if it's probably got 5 or 10 minutes. So it's he refers to it as the pain pleasure principle, and it is a great way to frame what you're trying to do. So why aren't you getting off your ass and starting to do it right now? Why aren't you going for a walk? Why aren't you going to the gym? And the reason is because in your mindset, you are avoiding pain. Why are you eating junk food? Why are you smoking? Why are you drinking? Why are you having healthy or unhealthy habits? Because in your state of mind, in your mental frame set right now, you are receiving pleasure. And what you have to do is use the pain pleasure principle with the neuro association. The neuro association is awesome. It's so powerful. When I used it to quit drinking, I'm telling you guys, I did not even think about it. It was so gone out of my mind that I didn't even notice for like 6 months that I wasn't drinking anymore. Like it was not, think of something that you would never do because it's disgusting, right? Like you're not thinking of not doing that, and you never have thought of not doing that. That's how it was for like the first 6 or 9 months. I just went on with my life. I didn't think about it until I went back and got my blood work done and my diabetes was gone. Then it clicked in my mind like, hey, I don't have diabetes anymore. And it made me think, oh, maybe I can go enjoy a beer again. And it made me realize that I hadn't even thought about alcohol for all those months. So you're attempting to avoid pain and seek pleasure. So what you need to do is change up your narrative as far as what you're thinking. I don't want to go to the gym because I'm avoiding that pain of the gym. Now, that's because, and like I didn't finish my thought in one of the other videos, 2 or 3 or 4 videos ago. I was talking about, it seems like the negative habits you have are the ones that are immediately rewarding. Like, I'll just use the worst example I could think of. Snorting a line of cocaine gives you the most immediate reward of the biggest dump of dopamine in your brain you can possibly have. Whereas long term, completely terrible for you. So, so that's instantaneous gratification versus life of misery. Smoking, relaxes your your neurological system. It feels like, even though it's not, it's actually stimulating it. But in the long term, sickness, disease, death, cancer. Overeating, a bowl of ice cream. I mean, when I think about eating a Dairy Queen Blizzard right now, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is that it's going to be delicious. But I'm using neuroassociation to switch the short and the long, so that the short-term benefits versus the long-term benefits, the short-term pain versus the long-term reward. So you just have to switch. Why am I not going to get some ice cream right now? Because I'm switching it to, yes, I know it will be delicious now, but yes, I know that food, that delicious flavor in my mouth, which will be so temporary. It won't last 10 minutes and I'll have that whole thing gone, and the flavor will be gone. The joy will be gone. The dopamine that it's releasing will be gone. And all I would be left with is the long-term suffering of obesity, diabetes, elevated blood sugar levels, destroying your organs. You're gonna have bad kidney numbers. You're gonna have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Switch your mind into thinking about that. Think about only the long term. Like, quit being so short-minded. You're just only looking at, if I go to the gym right now, and well, if I go right now, I'm going to feel amazing because I've been working out hard for a few months now, so my body's broken. But if it was day one, going back, and I thought about going to the gym and pushing myself hard, I would have thought of pain. But that you're never going to get yourself back into the gym. You're never going to get yourself back in. All right, I got a comment from a pretty regular viewer. He's been hitting the gym Monday, Tuesday already this week. Biceps, back, tricep, hiking. I love it. That's yeah, I don't I'm not dogging you on saying the higher protein, low carbs, good fats. Yeah, that's all good. I don't go super high protein though, because your body is only 17-18% protein. If your body's over 20% protein, it's actually bad. You certainly don't need to take protein supplements. Like, if you're eating a steak and eggs and stuff like that, you got enough protein. But I'm not dogging on you. It sounds like you got it going. And he said, "What's up, Zach?" Hey, it is going. I had a little plateau. I don't know if you've been keeping up with all the videos, but I kind of hit that 248 2 weeks ago, and then I'm back to 250. But I'm actually pretty happy. I'm staying right there. So I'm just on my 3 days eating right now, and back to the 96-hour fast starting on Saturday. So we're rocking it. We're gonna that April 1st is coming, man. And here's what I'm talking about though. I'm talking about that pain pleasure profile principle, pain pleasure principle. And don't think about the short-term pain. Think about the long-term gain. Don't think about the short-term pleasure. Think about the long-term devastation to your life. So those negative habits tend to be rewarding immediately. The good habits tend to be rewarding later. So you just need to switch your mind into, why am I going to get my ass off the couch today? Because I'm thinking about tomorrow, not today. And I tell you what, when you wake up tomorrow and your muscles are sore, you will smile and you will be like, that is the good kind of pain I'm looking for. You got to start loving this shit. I mean, I was a paratrooper. I was not ripped to the bone when I went to basic training or nothing. I was like 220 pounds even back then. And by the time I got out of AIT and airborne school, I was like 185, 190. So they whipped me into shape pretty good. But my point is, it was very difficult. It was very, very, very difficult for me to get through airborne school, especially. It was everything I had. So maybe, my mindset, it has a small advantage. But like I said in past videos, we are all so similar. I don't care if you're taller, shorter, whiter, blacker, darker, skinnier, fat. We're all basically the same exact human beings. We just have tiny little program differences. If any man can do it, you can do it. If any woman can do it, you can do it. So when you're trying to avoid pain by going to the gym, you need to switch that to avoid long-term disabilities. I'm trying to avoid the pain of obesity at, if I'm this overweight at 50 and I don't get this shit in check now, and I never, and I'm just, I avoid the pain the rest of my life. Well, the rest of my life's not going to be very long then. My mother passed away at 58. My brother passed away at 40. And I'm trying, of course I've lived longer than my brother already because I'm 10 years older than he was when he passed away. But I'm only 8 years away from the age of my mother's death. And thankfully my father is still alive. And the funny part is, well, not funny, but my father is the one that had diabetes the whole time. He's had diabetes since he was like early 30s, and now he's mid 70s. And he's the one that outlived his wife and his son who didn't have diabetes. And it's a point to be made when you get a shock to your life. Maybe, you get dumped and you get your heart broken, and you could go become a narcissist and hurt people because you've been hurt, or you can learn to love even better and find a real mate. Or, you've been devastated by diabetes, and my dad is 155 pounds of jacked. I mean, it's ridiculous. He doesn't even lift weights, but I mean, he just gardens and does, chopping wood and carrying rocks around a farm. And, we grew up in the inner cities, but they bought a little hobby farm out in the country now. So he actually lives with my sister and her husband and their kids, and they got a great little setup, little 5 acres, 6 acres, and they got woods and gardens, and it's awesome. My point is, like, him getting diabetes caused him to have to take care of himself better, and he does take the shot, which I totally disagree with. So he does have to eat sugar to even stay alive, which irritates the hell out of me. Went to another guy, blood work done, testosterone level, check window, IBS, working on my health and fitness goals. That sounds amazing, Michael. Yeah, people don't even know all the blood work you can get from your doctor. Do a little research about, when you go in, they want to do the blood work on you that can get you prescription medications. We're going to check your blood pressure. We're going to check your cholesterol. We're going to check your blood sugar. We're going to check your kidney. We're going to check, because they got a prescription drug for all that. But I don't want to say, because I don't have enough knowledge about it, but I am aware of it. You can get, oh, there's a name of it, and maybe somebody can think of it and comment it even later on, where you can check your body for vitamins and minerals, and there's other parameters you can get tested on, but this, your testosterone is a great thing to check. Yeah, you're working on it. I would say you're doing it. You're doing it, man. You're not working on it. You're doing it. This is it. The fact that if you're watching this video, man, you're doing it. You would have already turned it off if you didn't have some motivation and ambition at the core of your soul to get up and go and work it and make it work. And look at Zach. He's not just crushing it. What he's doing is not giving up, and I'm staying positive. I'm staying motivated. I'm making a video every day. It's helping me at work. It's helping me at the gym. I'm thinking about being accountable to myself, treat myself like somebody I care about. So what are some of the things I'm doing to reduce my overeating? I actually started looking into some, like, specifically overeating books, which I haven't found yet. I'm hoping to find some, but I did find some articles, online, and I did run into one book that mentioned it, Audible book anyway, but not a whole book about it. It was just briefly mentioned within, and it's what it's doing is just doing exactly this same thing with the pain pleasure principle, as my mind has only placed the pleasure on overeating. It's gluttonous joy, just blah, blah, like overindulging in anything. Like when we were talking about Stoicism, their big principle and philosophy is to be humble and just don't indulge in anything, not food, not sex, not information. In today's society, if they were, they'd have been definitely don't overindulge in, like, social media. I served in the United States Air Force. Yes. I remember you saying that, brother. Thank you for your service so much. I did not get deployed. It was the only reason I went in. Bill Clinton was the president, so he didn't hit the gas pedal on anybody. And then as soon as I got out, my unit got deployed, like literally 6 weeks after I got out. I was so bent. I did 3 years. I mean, I can't say for nothing. I loved being in the Army. I still dream about, man, I wish I would have stayed in, but I got married and had 5 kids like immediately after getting out of the Army. So, okay. So let me get back on track. The pain pleasure principle, the Nero association. Remember the Nero association. These are very easy principles. You're doing it because it makes me feel good. I'm not doing it because it makes me feel bad. And you got to just with Nero association. So I'm going to go to the gym because, and you just dream about all the benefits of health. That's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about how hard it's going to be to do this. And plus, like I talked about with the habit formation, the craving, the response, the reward, the response is where you're at the gym of the 4 steps of a habit. The cue might be, oh man, I'm hungry. I don't want to overeat. I should hit the gym. Like, create the cues for yourself. I'm getting out because I remember about that. Yep. Yeah, it sounds like I think I asked you how old you are before, and I think you were like 1 or 2 years older than me, so that kind of makes sense. Just talking to my brother Michael on the feed again. So guys, take your negative habits, you know what they are, and start switching the narrative on them to their long-term negative effects on you. Okay, cigarette tastes great, I want one, relaxes me, death, cancer, disease. Then you switched it, and then you use the Nero association. Like, it's what I did with alcohol was imagining vomit. Yeah, you're 2 years or 18 months older than me. Whenever your birthday was, I'll be 51 in a few months. So you switch it to just thinking about the negative on your short-term behaviors. Don't even say it. He's the commenter is saying his weakness is sugar. Let's say you currently struggle with sugar. You have no weaknesses, brother. Man, you are strong. You can overcome this. You're working on it. You're gonna get better. You can win. You can reduce that. You got to think about, and I don't think you said you had diabetes or anything, but like associate it with, oh, I'm enjoying this, whatever, cake, ice cream, junk food. Just think about how you're going to feel when you have diabetes. It sucks. And you can't burn fat. When you eat sugar, it releases insulin. When insulin's in your blood, fat will not burn until all the insulin's gone. Then the insulin's gone, which is storing calories out of your blood sugar or your bloodstream, which makes it obvious that your body wouldn't be pumping calories into your bloodstream, which is your fat cells can do that. Like when I'm fasting, my body's just blasting fat out of the fat cells to feed me. So when you eat sugar, you just told your body that it is impossible to burn fat for probably about 5 hours. And you know what you're going to do within 5 hours? If you're a regular sugar eater, you're going to have more. So that's how it makes it so obvious and so easy to understand how people go from, a fit, let's say high school kid, to 25 years old and you're 20 pounds overweight, to 30 years old and you're 50 pounds overweight, to 40 years old and you're 100 pounds overweight. It's easy to see how that happens when you're creating a situation in your body that is never without sugar in your bloodstream. And it is just, it's a guaranteed way to not live long. You're not going to live, maybe not even the average life expectancy in America if you're just a constant sugar overeater. So switch it around. Think of sugar as, like I did, just hammering down vomit. And then if that's not gross enough for me, I think of the ugliest person or animal you've ever seen. Okay, I was just reading his comment. He was just agreeing. He is a knowledgeable guy, obviously, and he knows that sugar is bad for you. He was saying it's his weakness, and I'm just trying to turn that around in his mind. And we all have strengths and weaknesses, and knowing yours is part of, like Sun Tzu is talking about, know thy enemy, know thyself. Fight 1,000 battles, win 1,000 victories. Well, in our case, we are the enemy, so we have to know ourselves, and we have to know our enemy within. That flesh, because do you love sugar? Because like, I know my spirit does not love sugar in any way. My spirit knows that sugar destroys my body. Not healthy sugar in broccoli, not healthy sugar in apples, not healthy sugar in carrots. They get it right. I'm talking about processed foods and processed sugars. Like I didn't even know till like maybe 5 or 10 years ago that the majority of sugar, like our white sugar, is beet sugar. So it's like, If you had to eat enough beets to make like a quarter pound of sugar, like let's say a can of pop has like it's like 60% would be full of beet sugar to make that can of pop. Can you imagine how many pounds of beets you would have to eat to, you know what I mean? It'd be impossible. It'd be healthy. Your body'd have to break it all down and it's complex carbs. But instead it's just liquid poison. So guys, switch the narrative to thinking long term. Like, is a sugar rush, a sugar high, a little buzz of sugar going to make me feel good tomorrow when I wake up? Is it going to make me healthier in a week, a month, a year, 10 years? Is it going to even help me live the next 10 years? You know, switch it around. Think of, and I'm going to do it tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up, and I'm going to start thinking about the pain pleasure principle. What am I seeking? I'm seeking pleasure. What am I avoiding? I'm avoiding pain. And then I'm going to think, what is pleasurable? And that's the trick. None of these short-term habits are actually pleasurable in the long term. So you just have to take those long-term goals. You know, like I said, when I got down to 210 in 2007, seems like a while back already, but for me, I swear it seems like freaking 6 months ago. I had a permanent smile on my face for like a year because my stomach was just gone. And I was still married back then, and I wasn't so worried. I didn't have diabetes yet. I was just happy I lost a bunch of weight because I made a weight loss bet, and I didn't take it serious enough to keep it off, but I did keep it off for a while. And I did it with like fasting and the same kind of thing I'm doing now. I think I even did 6 days of fasting and 2 days of eating, 6 days of fasting, 2 days of eating. And then when I was eating, it was super low. And like I said, I was in a competition though. Maybe I think within the next, probably by April 1st, I am going to see a therapist and just kind of go over what I'm doing, go over my channel, you know, talk about the videos I'm making, talk about the ideas I have, and see if we can identify where I can really take it to the next level. And I have read some books on CBT, yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy. And I know enough about it to like do it on my own, but it's like it's kind of like it's the kind of therapy where you really can't do it on your own. You have to have an assistant. You wouldn't even have to necessarily have a professional therapist, but a lot of therapists nowadays do specialize in cognitive behavioral therapy. And basically what it is you probably like for me, when I started doing it, I don't know, 6 months ago, I just brought a notebook to work and brought it around with me. And when I interacted with people, when I interacted with the world around me, I thought about how am I feeling, what am I doing, how am I reacting to situations in life, and I wrote it down. And something I noticed right away that I hadn't noticed before was that I overreact to being disrespected, mistreated in any way. Like I am snapping on you, and I'm like, I could kill you, man. I could choke you to death. I took jujitsu for 20 years. You don't have me. And it's like, what does that matter? You're poisoning me. Like, so now, and you're like, the dude threatened to stick his boot up my ass a couple of weeks ago at work, and I pretty much laughed it off and walked away. I'm not going to drink that poison and feel all mad for a week. You know, just you're unhappy, man. Go be unhappy somewhere else. I'm going to stay in my happy place. So that's just looking forward a little bit. I'm not like 100% on that or nothing, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going and then sharing it with you guys and you know, entering it into the equation, because April 1st is going to come and go. We're going to be down to whatever level we're on. We're still going to be talking about diet and exercise, but we're going to incorporate a lot more things. You know, we're going to be talking a lot more about mental health and emotional health and in the health of your relationships and the health of your spirituality and you know, so right now we're just focusing on physical health, and we're going to get a big kickstart this first few months. And then we're going to just start putting it all together more, you know, and just the channel is, like I said in some of my very, very, very first videos, like on my bio, it says life trainer to the stars, you know, and it's kind of a joke because I was hoping somebody would call me out on it. And I was like, no, I meant the stars in outer space, not the stars in Hollywood. I don't like them people at all. It's like life trainer to the stars in the universe. So guys, avoid the pain of those poor decisions and seek the pleasure of the long-term rewards. Like nobody goes, let's say you're training to run a marathon and you can't even run a mile. You would never even start training if you were thinking about the short-term pain, because it's going to be a lot of pain to train to. Let's say you're going to take 6 months to go from couch to marathon. It's doable. It sounds crazy, but if you've trained running, your cardio builds up very fast. I'm shocked how fast it builds up. But you would only do it if you were thinking about the reward at the end, the long-term benefit. Like, I'm going to be able to accomplish the goal of running a marathon in 6 months or a year, whatever. So you'd have to switch those around, and because the running is going to, especially if you're not already a runner. I'm saying if you're just getting off the couch, that's it. I'm gonna start training for a marathon. I'm gonna download a marathon app. I'm gonna put it in that I'm running a marathon in 12 months, and it's gonna tell me what to do. And they exist. They're out there. And so you'd have to have that neuro association, that pain pleasure principle would have to be flipped in your mind in the right way. And that's the kind of thing that's going to get you to victory in all of this, because your mind has to change. Telling somebody what behavior to do is almost pointless. Like, hey, quit eating sugar, eat steak, eat low carb, eat moderate fat, go work out, etc. You're not going to do it anyway unless you're willing to make the changes yourself. Which reminds me of something I read recently about, like, because my last two intimate relationships have been with women I loved very much, but that there was just something wrong that, and I'm not joking about it or anything. I'm like the relationship was just broken in some major way, let's say, where it's just in the major way means it's not going to work. It's not like some minor problem that we can just, sweep to the side and we love each other enough to move on. These are things like, this relationship's not going to work unless we fix this. And it's you that have to change. Okay. Let's say you believe your partner has to change for this relationship to work. Now, if you've watched this channel, I mean, is it easy to change yourself? I mean, Zach is making changes in his life, and I'll tell you right now, it's not an easy thing. I mean, I was practicing for years and years and years. I'll even say a couple decades to change myself before I even started the channel. And since I've started the channel, even though it's only been not even 2 months, it's not even been, it's going on. It was like early December, it's late January, a month and a half, whatever. It's hard to change yourself. So what makes you think you could possibly change somebody else? Because I've thought that before with both of these last two relationships. I'm like, I am going to have a positive influence on them. They're going to, follow my example, and they're going to drink less, and they're going to do less drugs, and they're going to quit smoking cigarettes, and they're going to work out with me, and we're going to be jacked and tanned and juicy as hell on the strip, And it's like, what a pipe dream, dude. I mean, you can ask them, hey, do you want to change? And lay out. It's what kind of finally got me to break up with my last girlfriend. I finally was smart enough to just say, okay, this ain't working. You have to change this, and this. Otherwise, I agree 100%. He said women are a mystery to me. The thing is, women are a mystery to women. So when you figure that out, they'll become a lot less mysterious. When you say, damn, I just can't figure out my wife or my girlfriend or women, don't worry, they can't figure themselves out either. But that's what this channel is about. We're working on figuring ourselves out, because we're not going to figure anybody else out. We can't even figure ourselves out. How are you going to figure somebody else out? We can't even change ourselves. How are we going to change somebody else? So my goal is, for my personal life and also to influence other people, is to don't be with somebody that you'd have to change, and don't be with somebody that believes you have to change, because you shouldn't have to change in any way that you don't initiate. Your change comes from within. Their change comes from within. When you meet somebody and your spirit, your soul, the vibrations you're putting out into the world, are going to attract people in that same situation, because those vibrations are going to harmonize, and you're going to be just drawn together. It's strange. When I was in this situation, I was drawn to that person, and we were in the same situation. And then my next relationship, I got a little better. My mind got a little better. And then I got into another relationship that was a little better, but still broken, because I was still broken. And then I got a lot better, and I got into a lot better relationship, a lot healthier, but we were still not complete in our own self. Yes, exactly. So we have to, he was, the commenter is saying, I can't hold myself accountable. How can I hold somebody else accountable? And that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't point the finger at somebody else when we're on here for change. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to change. There's something in your life you want to change. whether it's get in better shape, lose weight, gain weight, whatever it is, whatever attracted you to the channel, which, by the way, I got 504 subscribers till today. I think that's the first day I didn't get any subscribers. No, I think there was one day I got a -1 and maybe a couple zeros now I think about it, but we're working on it. Usually if I tell you I got like 50 subscribers in one weekend or something, it's because I spent a little money for some advertising, but I'm not in any big hurry. It's more just for the community and self improvement and self reflection. And so there's no big hurry to get to the 2.5 million followers. I got that's like a 5-6 year plan. So we're done talking about the pain pleasure principle. We're talking about neuroassociation. So now it's just the short term versus the long term. So you want to just, and it's like comparing yourself to somebody, well, I don't want to go to the gym because I'm embarrassed because I'm overweight, or I don't want to go jogging because I can't even jog a quarter mile. And as soon as I take off down the block, people are going to be able to watch how far I can run and I'll already be stopped. Well, that's because you're comparing yourself to other people. Like when you get off that couch and get out that front door and take off running, let's say at about a 4 mile an hour pace, and you make it 3 houses down and you turn around and walk back home all tired, and that was that much better than yourself from the day before. And that's all you need to compare yourself to. When I ran 2 live half marathons and 2 virtual half marathons, I never thought, of course, at my condition and my pace, obviously I knew I wasn't going to win, but I never even thought about like, what place am I going to come in? Who's going to be in front of me or behind me? What only thing I thought about was my personal goals. When I ran my first half marathon, I was like, I just want to run it in a faster than 12-minute per mile pace. That's running 5 miles an hour. So walking is like 3 miles an hour, like just a normal walk. So jogging 5 miles an hour is pretty freaking slow. And I'm telling you, I jogged nonstop. I did not walk for the half marathon the first time in 11 minutes and 55-second pace. I had a goal, and I was victorious. I was like 1,500th place out of 1,700 or 1,700th out of 9. It was funny. I didn't care what place I was in. I cared about my goal, and I beat my goal. And then 2 years later, I had a goal to run it in less than an 11-minute pace. And I got it in less than a 10:30 pace. So I was really pumped that time. I couldn't believe, but I weighed significantly less. I think I weighed like about 17 pounds less, something like that. And it made a big difference. So this year, when I run the half marathon, it'll be in October. So we got a long ways away. One of the series I already was thinking about, I'm looking forward to have, playlists, because this playlist is going to end up having like 150 videos. Right? All of February, all of March is 60, 70, about 120 videos or whatever. That'll be just in this series. And then the next one will be kind of the in-between, the intermittent goal to get to 190. It'll be that push to be that not obese. And then there'll be a video series about the half marathon training. And I'm going to do some about just like showing some of the workouts, that they're so easy. You really don't need to go to a gym, but like I'm in Minnesota, it's freezing. Could train the way I do if I didn't serve in there. Yes, exactly. I agree 100%. Like being a military veteran or let's say a high school or college wrestler or athlete. For me, it was jiu-jitsu and I boxed Golden Gloves. Did I tell you guys I was on ESPN when I was a boxer back in 1991? When you've trained hard in your life, like I said, I know how fast you can accelerate in running. Like you can go from not being able to run a mile to running 10 miles in like 3 months. And it seems insane but when you can do it because you've already done it like 4 or 5 times over the last few years, or even from 30 years ago when you're running around down the block in the Army, it's like there's a memory, that muscle memory and connection that, especially in my lungs, like even when I haven't ran for a while and I go out and run, which I normally can't run more than like a mile or 2 if I haven't ran in a while. Yeah, I wish I did. Mike, I've emailed ESPN. This was before the internet. This was before, any kind of internet. So I was at a tournament in Minneapolis, Upper Midwest Golden Gloves Championship. And it was like there was only like 5 guys in my division, and I won it. And I knocked the guy out in the first round of my last fight to win it. And I got home and it was on ESPN. It was crazy. So we recorded it on VHS tape, which I had 2 copies, and I was 19 at the time, and I brought my copy to the army. Nope, it was a unconscious KO. That was no TKO. That dude dropped like a sack of hammers. I hit him with the overhand right, and he tried to duck, and it hit him like right here, side of the neck. Even when the Golden Gloves, you have pretty big gloves on, but he went down. He was a good boxer though. He was tuning my face up for that first 31 seconds, but that 32nd second, he didn't remember that one. But yeah, he had a good jab for a while there. Anyway, the point of those little stories was knowing you can do it. And I'm telling you, you don't have to do all the things we're talking about, being in the Air Force and the airborne. Anybody can do it. You just maybe go hire a personal trainer, Yup, baby. That was the KO, the airborne KO. Get a personal trainer, go talk to a nutritionist, just realize the pain you're going to be in if you don't do something about it. If you're, I kind of advertise this channel only to people over 45. So I don't know how many people under 45 have subscribed because like I said, I can only see about probably 1 in 10, maybe not even that, have public profiles where I can click on it and see, what they look like, and you can guess their age just by looking at their picture. But there's only a few. I mean, 2 of my children are subscribers. A few of my coworkers are subscribers, and they're under 45. But I think in general, it's mostly people over 45 and 50, and in my age range and experience level and difficulties in life, and 50, out of shape, previously diabetic, single, tiny apartment, work, trying to come up in the world. Let's watch this, see where I'm at in a year, see where I'm at in 2 years, and we're gonna have it just documented every single day. Unless I go on vacation to the Philippines in a few months, I might have to take a break because I don't know if I'm gonna have any reception on some of them islands. But just gonna document every step of the way and get fit and get wealthier and get happier and be in a more healthy relationships, whether it's with friends or with a significant other. But man, as I am talking, I realize I have cotton chops like I just ate a bag of cotton balls. But that's all my notes for today, guys. I can't believe I'm already on episode 47. I need to make some more commercials and promote the channel a little more. I noticed it helps to make some shorts. If you guys ever see me make the dorky little shorts, it's because they get hundreds of views compared to a live stream. And I get a couple subscribers off of them here and there. Like I made like 5 of them, and like 3 of them drew in a few subscribers each. So that was kind of nice. So that if you see my dorky shorts, you can watch them or not. It really doesn't matter. Please do watch them though, because the more people that watch them, like per minute, is kind of what makes them go viral. It's kind of funny because my most successful short had like 750 views, like immediately. It just went and then boop straight across. Like once people quit clicking on it, it just went away, and then it never gets a view again. The shorts don't like come around unless they're like viral and they got millions and millions and millions of views. Then they're like on the shorts feed like every day. Get on there. Yeah, I mean those shorts kind of are addicting. You don't even notice you're watching them. Like I'll be on YouTube checking my channel, and then I'll check on my just watching videos, and you watch a short, and then it just goes to the next one and goes to the next one, and pretty soon you're like, oh dang it, I didn't mean to watch 25 shorts in a row. But some of them are pretty funny. People have told me to be a stand-up comedian my whole life, and I'm not really portraying very much comedy on this channel because I mean it's a serious topic, overcoming diabetes and losing weight, and talking about my mother dying and my brother dying. It's not the funniest base to start laying out some comedy, but I've tried to show my sense of humor here and there just by tucking in a couple little jokes. But oh, dude, I'm not using anything, man. I just got my laptop. This is it. There's my laptop. I got this. Just nothing. I'm gonna get some better stuff. I'm gonna move it around. I have 3 days off of work tomorrow. I'm a little busy, but I'm hoping to get some work done tomorrow. And then the next day, I'm not busy at all. And I want to rearrange the whole thing so that I'm not looking at my whole apartment. I want to just be looking at the wall. There's just a tapestry over here. And then I'm going to get a microphone and maybe some, because you can see it, this side of my face is dark and there's no lighting. And it's just, I turned that light off because it lit up the whole area, but then and I don't have a shade for it. Maybe I should put a shade on it and turn that back on. But anyway, yeah, I'm not. Yep, just laptop ready to go, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go back and watch my first videos, I kind of talk about it. Like, I don't have shit. Like, I don't even know how to edit the videos, dude. Like, I'm not. None of these videos are edited in any way. I mean, obviously, I don't even know how to like cut the shorts off or. Yeah, yep, I would. Oh, that's a good point you make too. If you do want to start a YouTube channel and you have like several ideas, just start several YouTube channels, because when you promote a channel, like let's say you're like this one is like, say lifestyle changes in photography and say painting and say, playing guitar. Well, then start 4 different YouTube channels and promote one as a guitar player, promote one as a painter, promote one as an artist, promote one as a vlogger or whatever, a blogger, so and you never know. Like I've read about, I don't see in my current format that I'm going to be a millionaire on YouTube. No way. But who knows? It's looking like I'll probably have 1,000 subscribers within a couple months. And then I just need the watch hours, which they're starting to add up a little bit. But the watch hours, you need 4,000 watch hours. So even though I'm past halfway to get the 1,000 subscribers, I'm not even like 10% of the way to get the watch hours. I think I'm only at like 400 out of 4,000. So I guess I am 10%. Let me look where I'm at. I'll let you know immediately. 407 watch hours out of 4,000 needed. So like I got the 3,593 hours of watch hours. But I figured, yeah, exactly. You want your channel to be just, and it could be just about one thing, basically, even though I'm telling you about, I'm going to have different lists in this channel. They're all about personal growth. They're all about like self-help. I consider it like different chapters of the same book, where, I'm not going to have a YouTube channel about weight loss and then have a YouTube channel about mental health and then a YouTube channel about spiritual health, because those are all self-improving things. But like I do play guitar. I'm not going to put guitar videos. I mean, I can jam pretty good, but I'm not going to put guitar videos on this channel. I'd start a different, Zach teaches guitar. I'm not that good, but I'm just saying, if you have different genres and, find your niche, to me, my niche is that I'm starting, I don't have a self-improvement YouTube channel where I'm jacked. Like I can't find a channel like mine out there. As far as showing from day one, like you watch The Biggest Loser, for example, that TV show where they're all 400 or 500 pounds. Have you ever seen them get down to 170? Like never. They lose 100 pounds and the show's over, and the next year they gain it back and their life didn't change at all. Or you get on YouTube and, like the Liver King, for example, that just got exposed for using steroids, even if he wasn't using, let's just say he wasn't using steroids and he was just jacked and telling you how to be fit and telling you what to eat. Well, you didn't get to see it. You don't really have the hard evidence that he was I'm just going to insult myself and say a 270 pound, blob of bubble gum. And you can see it in that video. I stood up and it ain't much different now. I'm only like 10 pounds less than I was when I stood up. I was 270 when I started. I was too embarrassed to even stand up. But then at 260, I stood up and it was still humiliating, but I wanted to do it. And then, I want to stand up again and do a little spin around and shake my belly at about 240. And then I'll do it again at like 220 and do it again at 200 and just see like how different you look every 20 pounds. Because when you're losing weight from 270, I mean, I guarantee I'm not losing muscle. Fasting does not lose muscle. It actually boosts testosterone, boosts growth hormone, and preserves muscle. No, not even close. 270 represents a 45-pound weight loss from where I started. Initially I got, the question was is 270 your highest weight ever? So January 1st 2016 just a couple months after my younger brother had died in 2015. I got on the scale for my New Year's resolution on January 1st, 2016, and I weighed 315 pounds. Yes, I was 315.0 butt naked out of the shower. And I mean, I could barely see the scale. Like my depression and alcoholism was so high, I didn't even know that I got that fat. I didn't even realize it. So I kind of went on a crash diet because I had dieted before. And, I'm talking, I was a Golden Gloves boxer and a paratrooper. And now I'm a 315-pound fatty, divorced and depressed. And I lost 20 pounds like in 3 weeks, like just not even hardly trying because I was so overweight. But I felt so bad, I had to go to the doctor. And I went to the doctor and got my blood work done. And they called me the very next day and was like, yep, we know what your problem is. You got type 2 diabetes. So I weighed 295 the day I found out I had type 2 diabetes. And 3 months later, I weighed 245. And that was because there was a big shock. Like, Zach, you got to change your life now. You got to. I'm trying to get as motivated as I was then now because I ballooned back up and I had 2 girlfriends in a row where I don't want to blame them, but where I allowed myself to get consumed in the relationship without taking care of myself. And now I want to be in a relationship with Jesus Christ and with myself and take care of myself and not, if I pursue a woman, it's going to be because she's pursuing me and that we have a joint relationship and there's equality and kindness and sharing and love between the two of you, not being a needy, pushy, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just the unhealthy relationship. Yeah. I guess I don't give myself as much credit. The commenter was saying, so you're down 65 pounds, which I am, but I was down 95 pounds, 2 summers ago. And I was pushing for I was on a weight loss, Facebook page, fasting for weight loss or something like that, which if you want to join one of them Facebook pages like that, I should start one of those pages. Okay, guys, thank you. I'm gonna start a Facebook page to talk about these videos and the same exact things. So anyway, I was down. I was 220, and I had to get down to 215 to be down 100 pounds. And then this is 2 girlfriends ago. I fell deeply in love, and I went from 220 to 265 in like 5 months because I just quit working out, quit running, quit hiking, and just hung out with her every single day. And of course, everything was going good in some fronts, but I just wasn't taking care of myself. So next time it's going to be good, and I'm going to be taking care of myself. So, so where does that leave me now? Like I said, let's monitor my sickness because for one, I'm claiming victory in Jesus' name that it's going to be gone within 24 to 48 hours. I'm being 100% honest. This is the most congested and that I've been in at least 3 years, maybe 4 years. I just don't get sick very often. Everybody was getting COVID. I never got vaccinated and I never got sick. And especially since I started taking the cold showers, I haven't even been half this sick since then. So, yeah, I'm trying not to be so what I'm gonna weigh, because like in my mind, I don't care as much about my actual body weight. Like when I say 170, but if I get down to 190 and I just feel amazing and I'm crushing half marathons and my stomach's flat and my girlfriend likes my body the way it is, and it's what am I eating? What am I doing for physical activity? Am I content, happy, filled with joy? As life's always going to bring misery, so let's not fool ourselves like life's not going to have misery. I'm not trying to deny that. But what I'm saying is we can have some good times too. We could have some joy. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty cut and I think, what did you say you weigh now though? I mean, 225 is not that bad for a 5'10". I mean, depending on, I'm assuming you have a little muscle on you at least. And I mean, yeah, exactly. If you're feeling great and you got some abs and you got some, yeah, I mean, dude, you're 20 pounds away from being ripped. And 52 and get down to 160. And I mean, I think 170 for 5'10". Yeah, that's not overweight on the BMI chart. But who the hell cares about that? That thing was designed like in World War II to give an idea of the weight of soldiers if you don't know where the hell the BMI chart even started. I think it's a good general guideline, knowing that, it might shift 10 or 20 pounds in each direction depending on your body composition. There's not even a difference between male and female on most BMI charts. It's a one number. It's how tall are you, how much do you weigh, and it tells you a number. It's supposed to roughly correlate to your body fat percentage, but it's really not. But yeah. So you're right there. You probably just have a little loose flab here and there, but or overall, I mean, I can't even imagine we'll see what I look like at 180. I mean, well, because even when I was when I was a Golden Gloves boxer, I boxed at 160, and I mean, you could see every one of my ab muscles, and there was still a tiny bit of body fat, like on your sides, and like where your love handles are. I mean, not much, but I mean a little bit. Like my trainer would tell me to, because boxers, if you can fight at a lighter weight. Yeah, that's just it's the hardest spot to get rid of. My boxing trainer would be like, "Well, if you lose another 10 pounds, you fight the smaller guy. You lose another 10 pounds, you fight." And I'd be like, "I don't have any more fat to lose, dude. I'm jacked." And he'd come and pinch my fat wherever he could find it. You got some right here. I'd be like, "All right, damn it." Maybe I should go or I was gonna say go sign up for a boxing gym, but then it came out of my mouth to open a boxing gym. That might be even better. That might be a sweet idea. I should look into that, man. That would keep me busy. Have my blog going and have my Mad Dogs boxing gym. Oh, by the way, they called me Mad Dog when I was in the 82nd. I don't know where they got it, but some dude said it one freaking time about 3, 4, 5 months into being in the 82nd, and 2 years later, nobody even knew my name was Zach. They'd be like, Mad Dog, what is your name? And I'd be like, Zachariah. And they'd be like, shut the hell up. No, it isn't. What's your name? It's funny. You don't think Mad Dog's name is going to be Zachariah. All right, guys. Again, with very few notes written, I have yacked on for 57 minutes. I love it. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be the first to see all my new videos when they come out and know when I go live. Do like the videos, vote on the poll. If you haven't voted on the poll, I should make some more polls. That one's obviously boring. Only like 10 people out of 500 have voted on the poll. But it's just saying how much yeah, because like when you're boxing, you cut weight. Let's say I weighed 160, but then if I could just cut to 150 by not eating or drinking any water for a day, and then weigh in and then drink the water, and then you'd be 160 when you go fight anyway. So you'd be fighting a smaller guy, but you'd feel weak. Or you could fight a bigger guy and have more energy. So it was always a toss-up, in boxing. You're gonna try to fight the smaller guy, but you're gonna be all dehydrated, or fight a bigger guy and he's gonna be just a powerhouse because he cut weight and you didn't, or vice versa. It's an interesting dynamic in boxing, but not that I never turned pro or anything. I was about to turn pro, but then I got a night shift. This is back when I was 18, 19. I think I started when I was about 17, and then I boxed for a couple of years off and on, and then I got a night shift job, and I never boxed again. I went to like MMA gyms and jiu-jitsu gyms, and I fought a couple of fights about 10 years ago, like kickboxing, or what the hell was it? Yeah, I had one kickboxing match like 10 years ago at a local bar that I won pretty decisively. And then I had like a grappling match at a bar one time, just like in a cage. And it was a draw. It was a 6-minute match. Who could submit each other, but we grappled for 6 minutes, and neither one of us were able to submit each other. But it was tons of fun. Something to get you motivated. We'll say I'm the MMA world champion that's never fought anybody. Or we'll start a over 50 division. It won't be the weight division, it'll be the age division. There's no fighters in the UFC over 50. I think the oldest one was 42, 43. There's been a few of them. Randy Couture was one. What was that Asian dude's name? He was knocking fools out at 40. And there was one other one I can't think of. Oh, what's his name? Just lost last night. I think he was over 40 on Saturday. He was Glover Teixeira. I think he was over 42. Anyway. All right, guys. Like I say every night. No, Chuck Liddell was young when he graduated to his glass jaw. He was awesome though. I'm a big fan of his. He started out in Kempo Kung Fu, and then he had great wrestling defense, so he could just stand up and knock you out, and you couldn't take him down. He was kind of the original sprawl and brawl type of fighter, where you're just going to throw hands, and he's not being taken down, and he never tried to go to the ground. He very rarely went for a takedown, and it was so funny when he did, because it would be like a close fight. He's maybe, I don't know if I'm winning this fight, so because he was a wrestler too, but he just had a great sprawl, so he would just throw hands, and you would look back of his fights with like Tito Ortiz and just tuning him up. Randy Couture he had a couple good fights with him. But yeah, he kind of established the UFC in the light heavyweight division for quite some time there. But all right, guys, I'm over an hour. I think this is going to be one of my I think it's my second longest video already if I go like 2 more minutes. But yeah, wasn't he like a governor or something down there for a while, or a city council member? It's kind of a joke. I mean, he's a cool dude. I can't dog him. He's a businessman. He's worth millions, so I can't argue. I'm not a big fan of his attitude, but the work ethic was obviously there. He got in there. If you look at his first fight in the UFC, he was like half the muscle mass of his last fight, which makes you wonder, how did you like add 70 pounds of muscle onto your body without steroids? But I'll just, let it go. Guys, jump on board with Jesus. He is the winning team. There's no overtime. The game's over. He fought the battle and he won. Get on his team and you will win also. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow evening.